Hello, everybody. We are back with an emergency Darning Watch episode. We lost Shady due to a sore throat and other various ailments, so we are bringing you some one-shot goodness featuring Mr. John down there and Mr. E over on the other side. You guys have been contacted. Your characters, Tallow and Drake.
I could help you.
Yep, but you're not. You
It's more
shouldn't.
fun to watch
Me struggle. Yes. So Tallow and Drake, you guys have been contacted again by the mysterious organization known as the Darning Watch. Again, it is a group in Paralandia that is multicultural, and it spreads across the entirety of the continent of Paralandia and serves as a kind of it has all sorts of races and cultures, I suppose, like
I guess that's still
multicultural.
would.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah.
It's not bound by borders, and they go out and they solve mysteries or things that the countries couldn't solve themselves, or that don't want solved through the normal means, murders and stuff that have no rational conclusion. These guys have.
I thought you meant committing murders. I was like,
No,
I could do that.
Yeah, right now. Just punch things really hard.
Right.
Well, we started this series, the Darning Watch, on the podcast. You can listen to those guys solve a few mysteries involving a exploded mayor and a haunted manor. What were some other ones you guys did on the stream?
I think those were the two I was in on. I
Okay.
think. There was that cave with the giant.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Torren.
Let's see.
And then this one on the last time we did it on stream, you guys were solving the mystery of the entirety of the pets of Esterbury leaving. And it turned out there was an evil druid, or not an evil druid, but a druid that led the pets away, and then discovered that one of the cats was a ancient evil druid, and dealt with that. Well, with violence.
Prejudice.
Well, this time you guys are on the road toward the Nalorian city called Torren. It has a very unusual mystery that has been caught the attention of the Darning Watch because of how strange it is, and that none of the people in Nalor can solve. None of the special agents, none of the wizards. You guys
established in the last time that Taylor here is a probational member, so he's still
right.
doing his low-level jobs to get full qualification or something.
It's not super dangerous, yes, and also, or they don't assume it's going to be. But the town has a shortage of teapots. Teapots keep disappearing. Anything that gets hammered into the shape of a teapot disappears. People have reported teapots getting up and walking away, or signs depicting teapots just vanishing off of counters and walls. There has been several wizards that have gone in and done some minor investigation. The best that they can conclude is there's a lot of illusion magic going on, but they can't tell what actually is happening. You guys were instructed by your superiors to bring a teapot as well, to serve as bait, more or less. As if this thing or this mystery is attracted to teapots, well then you better have one yourself, because there aren't any more in Torren. As you guys approach the city, it is in the riverlands of Nalor, nestled against one of the largest rivers that run through the human nations of the West. The city is nestled in a large field that has many rice paddies and muddy hills surrounding it. The village is a large collection of squat plaster buildings painted white with thatched roofs. Some of them are stone, imported from far away, but they're only very common in the center. As with many human nations in human settlements in this area, it is unwalled, as the agreements of the surrounding nations keep this its civilians safe, and the guards can handle anything like bandits or the occasional troll that wanders into town.
But not teapots.
No, this one's got
Yeah.
everybody
This is finesse.
stumped.
This
This one
isn't
has
like
everyone
run it off with
stumped.
sharp sticks
No.
situation. This is...
Right. It's gonna take some problem solving by some A+ sleuths, which
Do they come
hope
after
you
us?
are.
Or?
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, again, they don't know that you're on the probationary period. They think you're full-fledged Darning Watch.
You know,
Thank you
Drake
for
is...
taking
Right.
this time.
Drake is a full member, but Tallow needs a babysitter.
Yep.
Exactly.
So again, you guys are on the road.
Shadowing.
You crest a hill as is tradition and see the town spread out below you. It seems pretty normal right now, as the disappearance of Teapots does very little actually to disrupt the normal flow of a human settlement besides tea time.
Which is an important time?
It's relatively important. The further east you go, yeah, the more important it gets.
Huh.
You don't find hardly any tea shops in places like Arborea, but in Nalor, Belfast, they're actually very common.
Okay. So I think Drake is holding the teapot in two hands in front of him and like staring at it. Only taking a hand off to like, take a cigarette away from his mouth momentarily and exhale. Like, basically is just, holding the teapot in his hands, staring at it directly, and has been like for the last, quarter mile or something, probably. It's just like, okay, so I think we need to, we have to keep close eye on this, whatever it is. But we also need, in case it is just someone stealing these things, it should be obvious to all that there is a teapot in our possession. It's kind of like, as we're walking toward the thing, he's trying to like school Tallow over here, I guess. I don't know.
Tallow's right next to him, sitting on Lucy's back, as he always is. His lovely dog. You're holding it kind of as if it were gonna walk away. I don't, the folk tell stories, and I like stories. I drink and I tell stories. That's what we did back in the hole, as I called it. But I don't think this is gonna be a oh shit, there the teapot goes situation.
They did say that there were reports of them just walking away.
It doesn't have feet, Drake. I don't know what you expected here.
Magic of some variety, probably. He shrugs and with two hands still on the teapot, and then resumes his intense staring as we I guess make our way closer to the town here.
Here, give me the teapot for a second.
I don't think that is a good idea.
Just a second. You can keep your eyes on it.
What kind of teapot is it? Is it like a fragile
It's up to you
ceramic
guys.
one?
Yeah, it's one from your guys' home.
Oh.
You had to bring your own. So it's up to you, yeah.
It's a BYOTP,
Yeah, yep.
One of those parties.
Okay. I guess which of the two of us is more likely to have had a teapot?
I could have stolen one, but
That sounds about right.
Yeah, go ahead. So what does the stolen teapot look like?
Right.
So it's like a blue glass teapot. It's got like nice gold inlays around the rims.
Ooh.
And where feet would be normally on a teapot, it has like tiny little gems that outlay.
You guys get closer to town.
Expensive teapot.
There's a
It
few
slightly expensive.
laborers along the edge of the road cleaning out a ditch, pulling out some lumber and stuff. They look up and one guy goes, "Hey, that's a teapot."
Yeah, Drake just nods.
You better keep a hold of that. Teapots go missing around here.
Keeps nodding.
Wow, it's a very astute town we're walking into.
Does like a salute with the teapot still in his hands.
As you pass, you guys hear him go, "That guy's got a teapot," to the other people around him.
Tallow's just like dead-eyeing these people as they walk by. Like, what the fuck?
My plan is working perfectly.
You guys get into town proper. It is probably about midday. There are shops open as well as food stalls. As people are walking by, you're getting some like kind of looks as they walk by your teapot. There's like
Damn, girl,
whispers.
that's a nice teapot.
A guard comes up and goes, "Excuse me. I just want you to know that there's been some strange occurrences with teapots, and I don't know why you've brought it into town like you have, but I'm gonna need you to put it away so that you don't cause a disturbance."
We're very particular from where we come from. It's a religious ideology.
Show him your badge. Their town.
You know, after the last one they gave me, like this kind of knockoff looking one. I think it's made of cardboard, but it's got like the symbol on it. But I think the E and no wait, there's no E in Darnell.
His size and like holds, takes one hand off of the teapot rough.
Excellent.
Reluctantly pulls out his watch and shows it. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys have come. This has been actually a larger problem than I think I would have assumed it was going to be. We've had, a couple of riots over this. I mean, not many people, 10, 20 people, going through the street angrily with holding teacups.
What's the population of this town? Just out of curiosity.
35
So they get a feel. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's a pretty good sized. If it shows up on the main map, it's got to be at least 10,000 people large. So
okay, so that's not like a significant
so no one
portion.
cares.
That's funny though.
I mean, at least 200 people care enough to riot in the street with teacups.
Little cardboard signs that say "Free the tea."
Right. He's like, I've really missed my own afternoon tea. It's not the same when you boil it, in a cup or something. But
it's proportionally exactly the same.
No, that's
several people have lost family heirlooms made of gold, silver, jewels that are actually very valuable, and loss of such objects is very alarming.
Have the teapots caused any harm as they leave?
No,
they attacked anyone.
But Olivia said that one literally fought her.
He points at Tallow. Quickly puts the hand back onto the.
All right, what's that broad's name?
It's Olivia Happerson. She owns the house home. It's a tea shop in town.
And she is a reliable individual.
Yes, actually, she's. The Happersons have been the tea mongers in town for generations. She's reliable. That's actually where the whole thing started. She reported the first missing teapots.
All right, it was probably her. All right, easy.
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap this one up.
Okay. He sighs. He nods and. I guess, brandishes a teapot in his direction. Kind of like a wave or whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I suppose we should go and speak with this Olivia then. Get her accounting of these events. Is there anyone else that we should contact to let them know that we are here?
Yeah, if you want to go talk to the mayor, he'd be pretty interested to know that you're actually in town. He's taking the teapot thing pretty hard.
There's a lot of mayors in these towns that are really bent out of shape about pets and teapots. Does anyone care about like actual shit like war or like famine?
Well, you have to understand that the human nations haven't been at war for 130, 140 years, and the mayors are basically just put here for,
like a face? I see.
More or less. It's, he leans on his stick. The monarchy lets us elect our own mayors, but, they're basically just rubber stamp or pushers for the actual power, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. The shadow government or whatever.
Yeah.
Deep state. Just nods.
No, yeah, that makes sense to me. All right.
Hey, no, there are tunnels running all the way under this city. So you're talking deep.
Exactly. Uh-huh. The underground, as they are also called. Oh my god.
All right, so where can we find the mayor? I assume he has a big mansion with a whole bunch of crazy
Right.
shit.
Looking
You
around
just
for a
go up
hill or
Main
something.
Street. It's at the top of the hill. Big white building. It's one of the ones
It is
made of stone.
always on a
White picket
hill.
fence.
Right. Have you been there
Yeah.
before?
Something like that, yeah.
All right, yes.
And he kind of hides the teapot.
All right. So you guys head on up to the mayor's house.
As we're walking, Tal will look over at Drake. All right, so I have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whenever I say that, you seem to get a case of the shivers, and I see one of your eyebrows cock like every single time. So I don't know if that's like a nervous twitch or like a personal tick or whatever. But I do have an idea, and it's a good one. He's going to take his boot off. He's going to take his sock off, put his boot back on. Yeah, open the teapot for me.
Okay.
And he is going to daintily drop his sock into the teapot and close the lid. All right.
What?
Lucy knows my scent better than anyone else on this planet. Probably more than me. I don't like my scent, but she seems to be okay. So if this teapot does grow legs and walk away, which I doubt will happen, I don't think it's going to attack us also. Mary Sue or whoever at the housing house apartment or whatever. It's
Look,
just
you
hearsay.
know, all right. An animated household utensils are a serious threat.
I'm gotta bring it up every time, but God, we need something more important to deal with. Like as a society, we need to stop worrying about all our pets leaving or all our teapots going missing, and maybe we could take a chance at like equality or like universal happy. Never mind. Let's just go see the man.
Yeah, just like looking at you like what?
He like buries his head in Lucy's scruff.
You guys head up to the house. You're stopped by two guards. What are you doing here?
Just brandishes the teapot in their direction, and he's we are with the Dawning Watch. And,
yes.
We
Henry
are here
is
to
gonna
speak with the mayor.
Yeah, want to see you right away.
Nods.
You guys
Again, never
head.
salute with a.
You're gonna start freaking people out if you keep doing that.
Well, it's important that folks know that we have a teapot.
You guys walk inside, up a set of stairs to the mayor's office. He's behind the desk, and he leaps up at the sight of a teapot and says, "You have one! My God, it's beautiful. Oh, I can see my face in it. It's your Dawning Watch, yes?"
Nods.
Excellent. He starts walking back and forth and steepling his fingers. He's a pretty large man, about 6 foot, and maybe about 280 pounds of reasonable muscle. He's not a overweight man. He's dressed in really fine robe, and that's like tied loosely around his waist, and he's wearing big old house slippers right now. He's walking back and forth, going, "Yes, we will find whoever is doing this, and put them to the sword."
I feel as though that might be a bit of a extreme repercussion for.
He sort of just puts a hand on your shoulder and says,
Never mind.
We don't, it's a punishment, sentencing that's really out of our, purview.
Right, jurisdiction and whatnot. Yeah, I know.
Whoever it is, you have to return my teapot, or my grandmother's teapot.
What is it, made of solid gold?
No, it's not. But it contains her ashes.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense.
That would make for an unfortunate tea time mix-up.
Yes, and so you understand that whoever is doing this is not just stealing rare teapots. It is something personal to me, to this town. Is
it a stretch to ask why your grandmother was repurposed as a tea bag?
His face darkens a little bit. He says,
"No offense, of course. I don't mean anything by that. Halfling slang.
She loved tea. She worked at a tea shop in town for most of her life, and they gave her that teapot as a sign of thanks when she retired. And it was her most prized possession.
Right. The 30 years and the golden teapot.
Exactly.
It's like a YouTube gold plaque.
Excellent.
Can I guess that it's that Drake, what did they call it? Like the house or something, tea house.
The house home. Yes. Have you heard of it?
That one.
It's the most popular tea shop in Torren. And the oldest. One of the oldest tea shops in the entire country, in fact.
The one run by this Olivia.
Yes, Olivia Happerson. It's a very nice family.
Oh, there weren't any, disputes with these people, were there? Like, you weren't gonna shut them down, someone wasn't trying to get them out of business or whatever. This was just a happy little go lucky town until all your teapots started walking away on their fucking legs that they don't have.
Well,
He looks at Drake pointedly.
we had the occasional town squabble, but no one, everyone loved the house home. In fact, they still do. I mean, you will find people there sipping tea out of mugs, God forbid.
Oh, heaven's sake.
The humanity.
I cover Lucy's ears.
But not only that, Bentrick, he forged an entire pallet of teapots to try to counteract the shortage, set them into his warehouse to cool. The very next day, all were gone. He said that they would have been very hot and difficult to handle, and someone must have been desperate to pull them away from us.
Is there anyone you can think of who you have some sort of ongoing bad blood with, or whatever sort of conflict that might make them want to steal all of the teapots in town?
Maybe it's Griswold in Heroica, but that would be a stretch. He can barely tie his shoes.
Yeah, I think you need coordination to pick up a teapot, Very, very important stuff.
Not only that, but we had a Gearan wizard pass through. And while he didn't have very much interest in staying and helping solve the problem, something about being beneath him, he did say the town was rife with illusion magic.
That's all he said. He didn't say, like, where. He didn't point out an illusion.
No, unfortunately not. As I said, he was passing through.
You can't fucking get good help these days, I swear. Wizards are all up in their robes about being so powerful that all of a sudden when you need a little favor, they're like, it's too beneath me. I gotta go fucking stop a lich from taking over the world.
That's what I was
Bunch
saying.
Of fucks.
He said he had to close some kind of portal that was ripping something open, and I asked him if he could just give me a little bit of help with my teapot problem, and I get an earful.
That's another Tuesday for those fucking wizards these days. We really need to, something needs to be done.
It takes, 60 seconds to cast a ritual spell. That's all I was asking. Anyway, I'm sorry, not to pull you into my politicking of town. Please, solve this problem in however means you see fit.
All right, I'll get your grandma back for you, Drake, and
Thank
you.
Oh,
and I will
wait,
find a
no,
way.
that's, yeah, okay, because she's in the teapot. I was like, that's not what we're doing. But I guess it kind of is.
So we're here to
Kinda
take
like
a
a
grandma. All right.
I think I'm missing grandma or whatever. Okay, I'm on it.
I'm on it.
Thumbs up.
What's your grandma look like again? Well, she looks like ashes. All right, can you be a little bit more specific? Seen a lot of ash-like grandmas in my time. I don't know.
How will I know that it's your grandma and not someone else's? Oh, jeez. Yeah. So I think Draco will nod and say, and the teapots, they have disappeared from all over town, not in any specific location.
It started in the house home tea shop, but it has soon spread to every single house and building in the city.
He nods.
It seems to be about a day before the teapot goes missing.
Kind of sighs.
I would hold on to yours as tight as possible. I haven't
Gives a
tried.
pointed
We
look
haven't
over
tried
toward
that
Tallow.
yet. We haven't tried just physically holding on to the teapots.
Exactly. He nods.
Do
Like,
your
taps.
gods have like manacles?
Yes, of course.
Can we borrow one pair?
Of course. He snaps to one of the guards who goes into the armory and comes back with a set of manacles.
Tallow will make Lucy walk forward. He'll stand on her back and he will attempt to cuff your wrist to the teapot,
Okay.
to the handle.
What you want to do? Like sleight of hand versus dex save or something here?
Yeah, that'll do.
He's not gonna
Yeah.
resist too hard, I don't think. But
How's a
Tallow rolls a 5.
okay. Swats your hand away, and then probably realizes what you're doing, and is like, "Oh, well, actually, because yeah, actually, no, I think I like that idea anyway." So he's like, well, okay," and then kind of just offers a hand towards you because he's like, you could have just like said something.
Yeah, but I like to surprise you. You know,
That
like,
it makes me uncomfortable when you invade my personal space.
well, I can't seem to like steal your pocket watch, so I gotta find ways
That's
to
part of
entertain
the
myself.
reason that I get uncomfortable when you invade my
I keep
personal
taking
space.
cigarette butts. Why do you hold on to those?
You need decoy pockets. He
That's
just taps a temple.
You truly are my arch enemy, aren't you? My nemesis. And he'll clasp the manacle on your wrist. All
Oh
right,
my God.
so to the tea house.
He nods and says, "It looks like we should speak with this Olivia next. What does this Griswold look like, or whatever? Just so we could ask around if anyone has seen him." in
He
the
is
area.
a very, very tall, rail-thin, bald man with a hooked
All right.
nose.
Is he a publicly known figure, or not so much?
Not so much in this town, no.
He nods.
He is the mayor, though.
I
Hero
would
of
guess that this is, if he is involved, he would be more distantly so than to be here himself.
hope so.
But it is worth ruling out.
Yeah, I don't think old Skin and Bones is going to be walking around bald-headed trying to steal teapots from people and not being recognized.
And he would have had to steal a pallet of, 20 freshly made teapots in the middle of the night. So
Right. And the way you describe him, people would probably be screaming that there's an undead attack if he was walking around in the daylight, you know?
Exactly. I say that all the time.
I say that all the time.
You know, I like you, Mr. Mayor. You seem like a good fellow.
I like you too. Would you like to go hunting sometime?
Yeah, I think that'd be a nice time. Lucy hasn't had a chance to really get some ducks in her teeth in a while.
Oh, yes. I bet she would be a wonderful hound dog as well. So I'd loose a fox, find her, and have her chase it with my hounds.
Oh well, I think we'll catch up on this later, but I'm thinking bear hunt. I think Lucy could use a bit of a handicap. She's kind of strong.
The bear. My,
Oh,
you
yeah.
you just don't care, do you?
Oh, I care immensely, unbearably.
Anyway, we'll solve this this teapot problem, and then we'll talk about bear hunting.
Of course. We'll get your grandma back. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Almost got me again.
I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep.
We'll get your grandma back. Like teapots, right? Grandma in teapot. Yes.
All right, so you
equals
guys,
grandma.
you guys are escorted out, and directed towards the house home tea shop, which is near the market square. It's a quaint little building made of wood and plaster, curved roof that has like swirls on the ends of the gutters. The windows are wide and cheery. You guys walk inside, and there's blue tablecloths on wooden stools, and there's a reasonably young woman coming around and refilling everyone's teacups with a large pitcher instead of a teapot. She's holding it in hot pads as it would get hot, and looks up and says, just a minute, just find a seat and I'll give you some. My God, where did you find that?
I brought it from out of town. And he
Well,
nods.
like a mayor's. Oh, you mean like? Never mind.
She puts the mug, the pitcher down on the table, and she goes, "You just have that," and comes up to you and says, would you like some tea made out? Why does it smell like feet?"
Oh no, this is not for like being used as a this is more. It's like probably also manacled to his wrist
Yeah,
at the
and she's
moment.
looking like, huh.
But he's
What can I do for you, gentlemen? I assume you don't want a cup of tea.
2 teas, please.
Very well.
That would be awesome.
She walks
actually.
back over the table and slaps the man's hand away from the pitcher she put down and picks it back up and comes over and puts 2 teacups in front of you guys and pours some. All right, and what is with the teapot manacled to your wrist? Please tell me.
We are with the Donning Watch, and he'll say, "Just
Oh.
stop." Like that explains everything, I think.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I'm familiar.
Right. Well, we are here to investigate your issue with the teapots, and it is our hope that in bringing this teapot and securing it against potential theft, that we may be able to track down the location of the others.
Well, I'm glad someone is finally taking this seriously. After that wizard, I didn't think we were going to get any help.
Like I said, bunch of schmucks, every single one of them. You can't ask a wizard for anything. Hey, can you help your grandma cross the street? No, I'm too busy. There's a beholder down the road. I gotta go talk to him first. There's always some world saving to do, and there's always a newspaper article with their face plastered right on the front.
And it's always the little people that get ground under,
Right.
get ignored.
In particular, actual little people, because we can't fit.
She pats dog on the head. Well, he seems nice. Anyway.
So, about these missing teapots.
Right. She wipes her hands on her apron. What would you like to know? It started happening maybe about a month ago. I lost 1 teapot and then a second one, and then by the time I assumed they were being stolen and asked the guard, the neighbors began losing teapots.
So someone said something about you being attacked by one of these teapots?
Did you talk to the mayor? I'm sorry. I said it fought with me, but really what I meant was I saw it move and I grabbed onto it to try to hold on to try to keep it from leaving, and it pulled against me with surprising strength. It slipped out of my hand and then she kind of looks, I don't know if you'll believe me, but then it shrunk.
Like
Yeah.
shrunk?
No. As in it shrunk down to maybe the size of a peach or a small plum, and then again floated out the door.
Huh.
Right.
That is odd.
So magic seems to be the perpetrator.
Well, the wizard
Yes.
did say the city was lousy with illusion magic.
Sure, but what you're describing seems to be something a little more than an illusion. You had your hand on the thing and it was pulling in a different direction.
Yes, and
Kind of sighs and scratches at his head.
quite strong too.
Well,
And I think the shrinking is how they're getting the teapots out of areas that couldn't possibly leave. I had all my doors and windows locked and still lost all 3 teapots in a single night.
do you know anyone who you have caused any sort of slight against, or has any reason to try and take some sort of whatever retributive action toward you?
Or
Well,
like a coffee drinkers union or something like that.
Yeah, actually, if there's anything like that, that might
no,
be quite good.
the Bell Bears, they have been uh, asking to buy this place for a while, and I have politely declined. They have been very civil about it. There's been no bad blood. They wish me the best. Only that I am the last Happerson, and I don't plan on having any children. So this tea shop will eventually have to leave the Happerson family, though it's been here for almost longer than the city of Torren.
Well, that's, a bit of a shame that such an institution could be lost to the sands of time. But I am not certain that it is relevant to our current issue here. However, this Bell Group, what was their interest in this property?
Well, it's
I guess,
not
did they
only
just want to run it as a tea shop?
well,
or
it's
did they
also a
want,
historical building. It she kind of turns and goes, I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to have to talk to these gentlemen. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. There's some grumbles, and she says it's okay. It's okay. That I'll be open again later this afternoon if everything goes well. She says, please have a seat.
Talos smiles at people sipping his tea as they leave.
Anyway, this building is quite a historical marvel. Um, my great great grandfather, he was the one to first lay the foundations. And he did so when the city of Torren was only a few rice fields. So I think that the Bell Bears want it for the historical value too. And there's the legend.
Legend.
he just,
Yeah, you can't
child.
just like
Well,
bomb drop legend and then not follow
apparently,
up.
when the city of Torren was founded, they found a cave that led to the caves beneath the world. The enormous cave system that
The
exists
deep
under.
state.
Yes, exactly. Well,
Talos points a finger.
my grandfather bought the land with the cave on it and sealed the cave, and then apparently built this tea shop on that cave itself.
You don't have a cellar, do you?
No, of course not. He
No
sealed it. It was
spooky hidden entrances. No. Oh man, I keep hearing like digging and creaking in the floorboards, but I don't want to check it sort of situation. Nothing around there.
Well, I mean, now that you mention it, there has been the foundation does make noise, but I've always assumed it was because of the age.
What, like screaming, agony, pain, suffering, one of those sort of things?
No,
As age does.
Squeaking, like a foundation.
Anywhere in particular? Just
Oh,
everywhere.
No, it mostly happens near the back and behind the counter. But I just assume that as I'm moving, the boards are shifting and they're squeaking.
I'm gonna look at Drake. Just a knowing glance.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Do we have insurance for property damage?
I don't believe that we are covered. Or at least beyond, we have to make best effort to mediate it on our own before the Dawning Watch union gets involved.
Right. It's always a union. Would you mind if we took a look?
Go right ahead, I suppose.
Where, do you hear these sounds from most directly?
She points. The building is a square, and then there's oh, I've got the battle map here. The building is a square, and there is a counter set up near the back. It's where this bar is here. She's pointing to the area behind the bar, as well as the back room, is where she's heard the majority of the squeaking sounds.
Uh-huh. Well, I guess yes. They'll go over in that direction, open up the door, and just start like walking back and forth and jumping up and down and see if it's making noise or what's going on, what it feels like, I guess. I don't, do you
As
want an investigation check or something? I suppose?
nah, I mean that's you guys are just jumping up and down. I you guys walk into the back and yeah, the boards are really squeaky back here. Whereas the rest of the floor sounds really solid. As soon as you get behind the bar, and especially in this area right here, directly behind the bar in front of the door that leads to the back room, it sounds like, like, but there is no, nothing unusual about the boards themselves.
Are any of them loose? Can I like jiggle the boards and see if any of them?
They're not loose enough for you to jiggle, but as you are like kind of trying, you see that Drake is actually kind of bending some of the boards just slightly, just enough that you can see that there's maybe a eighth of an inch difference from between where the boards he's standing on, the boards he's not standing on in this particular area.
I mean, that's iffy, but I don't know if it's a lead per se.
I mean, yeah, that could just be like construction methods that aren't up to current codes.
Right, you might need a
Historical-
contractor.
Historical buildings, they usually get around a lot of that stuff.
I've told you, no one has touched the foundation since my grandfather laid it.
And has it always been squeaky back here?
No, it actually got worse. Around the same time that the teapots started disappearing. Now that you mention
That's
it,
good enough for me.
I'm going to take a
may
knife
need to
out
take up your
and
floor,
try to
ma'am.
pry
You're gonna
pry
step
a
off the
floorboard
bars.
out.
are you sure that's necessary? This is a very old building, and these floors are.
You miss your
Nice.
teapots.
I do miss my
well,
teapots.
All right.
the mayor has, given us sort of pretty decent leeway here as far as exercising whatever sort of discretion we feel is necessary. I believe he mentioned putting the culprit to the sword, so I don't.
Did you know
believe
they
that
took his
wouldn't-
grandma?
They did that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, what I'm.
Well, she was
She
in a
was in
teapot,
a
you know.
teapot.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, that makes sense. Yes. Oh, yes.
As ashes
Of course.
at the
Yes, Grandma Betsy.
Yeah, not
I
a
know.
whole
She
lady.
also worked here,
Yes,
as
she
I
did.
understand.
Yes, she was one of my father's favorite employees.
Did you know her yourself? As probably working at
Yes,
pulling
yeah.
up some boards here.
She died recently. As you guys pull up the boards, the it comes up pretty difficult. Actually, I'm gonna need you to roll me a strength check.
Am I good at that? No. You good at that, Drake? Okay.
I do have thieves' tools, which I think is something that includes
Like a crowbar?
Yeah,
maybe.
I'll allow you guys a advantage on the roll.
Okay, that's good. I'm less terrible at that. Would you settle for an athletics check?
Sure, that's fine too.
Okay.
Seeing as how Tallow didn't do anything for you.
It's 12s all around. for my
12s on the
check.
board. Well, Tallow, you just kind of scrape the board with your knife a little bit. But Drake, you're able to get one of your crowbars under the board and pull it up. The board pops out, and there is a hole. It looks like the entrance to some kind of well. It is a shaft leading down into the darkness. There are spider webs crisscrossing every few feet, as well as a old ladder. And when I say old, I mean like 300-year-old wooden ladder leading down into the dark. It looks like the well had been covered by some kind of plaster or concrete that has been broken and chewed away from the ceiling.
Do the spiderwebs seem to have been disturbed?
I was gonna say, can we just try and
No.
That's my concern as well. Is seeing it how often or recently it seems someone has passed through here.
The spider webs do not seem disturbed. In fact, they seem ancient too. There is dust hanging off of them, and it would be very easy to see a track in the spider web itself.
Okay.
Though
Well,
along the wall with the old ladder, you see a single strip about this wide of clean, as if something took a rag and wiped down one spot along the edge where the ladder meets the wall itself. Olivia takes a step back and goes, "What is that? I thought my grandfather sealed that up."
Well,
wow. Sorry.
that's it.
Well.
Well,
and
yeah, that's
then
gonna
gesture
cost
toward
ya.
it like yeah. That gets this is odd. It does not seem that that there is anyone who has passed through this area of human size anyway, in recent times or
but
periods.
maybe
Yeah.
peach or plum size.
And yeah, Drake will nod. I guess go down to that sealed area. Try and figure out how long ago it seems that was.
So no,
Broken.
I suppose so the seal looks like it was right beneath the wood floor
Okay, so
and
yeah,
was
trying to look
chewed
at
out.
that and see when it
Yeah,
was broken or how
very
long ago
recently.
it's been broken. Okay.
You can still see like the sharp bits of stone that have been looks like it chiseled away by a very small set of chisels.
All right, well, it's seeming like we might have to start spelunking a bit.
Are you
I'm not
sure
sure
you want to
that
go
there's any
down there?
value in us heading that direction necessarily. But it does not seem, at least, that we are going to be able to come across anyone anytime very soon. This area has not been disturbed. I'm not sure. I guess it's the best lead we have at the moment, though.
Well, for now, yeah. And if there's nothing down there, we'll come back up and we'll go talk to the bell bears and see if they haven't been magicking some fucking teapots away.
That would, potentially be of, some interest to them if they are trying to like run the tea business out of town altogether. But yeah, I'm not sure, I guess, where else to head. So that makes some sense. He'll sort of adjust the manacles on his wrist and shift the teapot around and get ready to head down there.
How are you guys going to do that? There is the old wooden ladder, but it looks like it is just about ready to turn to dust.
Is there any support beams, like columns, in here?
Yes.
Like next to the bar, perhaps, or like
Yep.
holding
There's
one side of the
actually
bar up?
there's one right here and one right here, just a few feet from the bar.
Okay. All right, so I got some rope. I don't know how far down this thing goes, but it's pretty big rope, you know. It's not like tiny little jump rope.
Sure. I suppose I can let you down and see what happens.
Yeah, I could be a little bit of a decoy watch here.
You're light and also a proby, and he starts like getting the rope up over the bar or whatever.
Oh, good, I'm expendable. Perfect.
Mhm,
I was
like
thinking,
wings.
here I was thinking, wow, he trusts me. I'm very heroic. No, it's because, well, we can always find another small guy.
Are all
Look, that
Darning
is
Watch
eggplant.
people do they all talk to each other like this?
Um, you'll just stare at her probably and smoke, and then go back to working the rope as support or whatever. And
All right, yeah,
start
you're
tying it around your waist or whatever.
yep. You secure the rope to Tallow and to the beam.
I will light a torch.
Okay.
All right, Lucy, you stay here and make sure nothing crazy goes down. I'll give her a good pat, and he will just jump into the hole, expecting Drake to be able to support him.
Do his best and
all right.
let him
Bottoms up.
down here.
So you pass through the spider webs and head to the bottom. It's actually about 30 feet down, so it's a pretty long distance. Though as you get to the bottom, an unusual sight greets you. The first thing you notice is that there are hundreds of teapots down here.
We got pots
littering the floor, gleaming off of every surface, and especially in the middle of this large room that you have uncovered, there is a giant pile of teapots that it looks like it has been carefully arranged and worked on. In the corner of the room, there is a miniature city, about 1/20th, 1/30th the size of a regular city. There is a city block. There are houses. There is a street leading from the city to the giant pile of teapots, as well as deeper down a smaller passageway. In the city streets, you see hundreds of eyes staring at you, alit by your torch. Tiny little beady red eyes. Attached to each one of these eyes is a mouse, a little white mouse, wearing a little uniform. It looks like a Three Musketeers uniform. Some of them are wearing little Three Musketeers uniforms and little Spanish conquistadors hats with big feathers, and are carrying little rapiers. Others are like little farmer mice and shopkeeper mice. Some of them are moving teapot bits and parts to different parts of the city, but they've all stopped and are staring at you. There's a moment of silence.
Hi.
One of the mice, little mice guards, comes up and pulls his sword and goes, "Stop!" And we will take a break right there.
Oh boy.
We're back in 15 minutes, guys, to continue the mystery of the disappeared teapots.
In the book, as they're printed, a lot of the classes kind of have a narrative concept that's sort of directly associated with them. How important are those to you as a DM? How much do you like your players to stay in those lines?
Well, I think that the main thing to look at is what kind of game you're running. Because if you are, we go back to the combat versus narrative. If you're in a game that is mostly combat, it probably won't even come up. You're not going to have the issues of going against your patron. Whereas if you're in a role play game, I feel like there's a lot more opportunity there for those conversations to be had.
I guess, yeah, we're saying patron, and I'm sure everybody's sitting here thinking warlock or whatever. But in my mind, when you say, the characters that get their power from a divine entity, I lump in clerics, paladins, druids frequently as well. I would say that those are probably, or at least traditionally, those would have been the classes that also had that kind of connection.
I would address it if you're going to be any class, because there are other things that can be applied to certain classes. For instance, in my game, a wizard, a particular wizard, is drawing a bulk of their power from their spell book. That is a source that can be removed from them, and it can be done with any class basically if you're going that flavor route. The main thing is that there's an understanding between the players and the DM that it is a possibility, if everyone's in agreement, that if you go against your patron to where that's where you get your power, that things could happen.
As a DM, I tend toward saying, like, if you as a player are interested in exploring that relationship, and then also kind of handing me the power to yank the cord on your class features at will, essentially, if you don't do the things that you've established the entity you're obligated to wants you to do. But I don't like doing that to players unless it's very clearly established, I guess. Yeah, like you're saying, that's the way it's gonna work. Because I tend to not make warlocks as a player because a lot of DMs will do things to warlock players that they would never consider doing to anyone playing any other class, because it says in the book that you have to interact with this entity. I see classes as sort of a mechanical skeleton that you are supposed to tie your sort of like whatever narrative concepts to. But there are going to be DMs who say, no, you're a warlock. This is how warlock patron relationship works every single time, because that's what a warlock is. That's an integral component to the nature of the class. And I don't think that that's wrong. I would argue with that DM. But they aren't wrong. It's just a difference of opinion.
For instance, in my game, that is most definitely a thing. We just finished a little sub arc where the warlock, who was becoming quite griefed at the aspect of being evil and being subjected to this patron, this deity, and their soul not being theirs and whatnot, they went through some sort of inner conflict and came out the other side thinking that, hey, I need to redeem myself. So I allowed that. They went on a little sub campaign to redeem the warlock's soul and to pledge themselves to a goodly deity. And it was a long process. It was fun, but story wise, it made a lot of sense. And role play, it gave a lot of interactions, a lot of fun role play in there, and no one's feelings are hurt because of the taking of the power from not following in the line. You have to be willing to be malleable with certain of these situations like that.
Right. I think it can be a really fun element to a game to have this sort of struggle back and forth between, you as an entity who's been given this gift of power, and then the thing that's giving you that power, trying to keep that relationship in check when you're clearly, you could just be wiped off the face of the planet at the snap of a finger. Like it makes, that happens a ton in, the procedural TV shows, shit like that. There's all sorts of situations like that do foster drama very well. But I find myself frequently frustrated if I was thinking that I was just picking a couple of class features because it helped me achieve this other narrative concept I was going for. But they're like, oh no, now you're indebted to this other entity. Like, it's like, well, I don't want that really.
There's no wrong way to go about it. If that's not a thing in your game, that's fine. If it is a thing, that's also fine. It just, as long as everyone's on the same page.
Exactly. Right.
Just the main number one thing is just to address it up front and be on the same page with your DM and your players, saying, hey, this is a thing that can happen. And if that's not something that you agree with, and if that's not something that you want to have to deal with, there's no shame in just going to another table.
Well, after that really hard encounter with that terrible beast, I need some new equipment. This looks like a good place to get something. Hello. Can I get...
My name is Cornwall, Snot Gobbler the Fifth. State your business, ruffian.
I was looking for some dungeon equipment?
I will be the judge of that. Kneel, knave.
Kneel? But I thought this was a general store.
Of course it is. All customers must kneel before the great Cornwallis Snot Gobbler the Fifth. It is local custom.
Local custom is to kneel before shopkeepers? The last shop I went to didn't force me to kneel.
I am a special shopkeeper. I am Cornwallis, Snot Gobbler the Fifth. Now kneel, or you will not peruse my wares.
Are there any other general stores in town?
No.
Of course not. All right, I'll kneel.
And kiss my feet. And call me Freddy.
No. Nope. 100 feet of rope is not worth this. Nope. Nope. Well, at least I can get something to eat.
Hello. I am Gregory Smith Bumtackle the
Fuck.
Create something.
Without delving too deeply into this philosophical alignment debate,
Right.
which is a big deal, I think the main thing is alignment is the word that we use sort of to describe your party's intent, I suppose. My campaign, I didn't allow for evil alignments because it's a heroic setting. The whole thing is that I want all of my players' characters to be on the same page as far as what their overall goals are, and that being to do good. If you have a campaign setting where it's the opposite, that's fine, but it's not going to work if your campaign setting is an evil setting and your goal is to do nefarious things, and you have a lawful good paladin on your party.
Exactly.
It's not going to work. The whole point of the alignment system, for what I'm talking about in setting up a party, is to have everyone on the same page. Not to delve deeply into the philosophy of
Right.
every alignment and every character. It's just to keep everybody on the same page.
You're picking teams in the cosmic struggle,
Yeah.
for the universe or whatever. It doesn't, it's as much a faction as it is or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
in older editions of D&D, that was exactly how it was like formulated, basically. And I think it's most effective. The 9-box system is most effective when used like that. But I think that there is, as someone who grew up playing D&D with half the party good, half the party evil, or one person who was like, fuck everybody, we want to do this campaign, I'm making this character. There's room for that kind of game, I think, where it's a little bit more combative. Everybody at the table is there with the understanding that they're going to be trying to screw each other over and mess up the plans of the party, and that the big bad evil is going to be one of the people in the party or something.
Exactly.
I think there's room for that, but yeah, like it's very important that everybody's on the same page still, because you can, those imaginary conflicts and slights can become real conflicts and slights very quickly.
Very much so. I feel like that is before you get started, that's like a pre-session zero sort of
Yeah.
conversation. Put everybody on the same page. Let everybody have an understanding of what they're okay with, what they'd like to do, and what is tolerable. Because you've got a spectrum of the player versus player conflict, whereas on one side, pranking and playing and sort of a little, conflict or whatever. On the other side is straight up PvP.
Right.
And in my book, I'm okay with the spectrum so long as it fits thematically. Like, if it makes sense, if it feels good, not just to say, hey, I want to kill this guy because I don't like him, that doesn't make sense. I mean,
rogue, so I'm gonna steal everybody's loot.
Yeah, it does-
Oh,
that
well,
just
I'm gonna kill
doesn't
you,
work
I'm a
for me.
barbarian. Like, well. But if there's real conflict and strife that leads to fight, And then obviously everybody, both people are interested in pursuing that shit. Otherwise, if you got two people who are actually like have some real life conflict that they're acting out in the middle of your D&D game, that's usually not a fun situation for anyone. So yeah, I think that's the thing. It's just if everybody's on the same page, I don't think there's a wrong answer personally.
Everybody just needs to know where they stand before you get started. You don't want to find out, a couple months down the road, however many 8 sessions down the road, that, oh yeah, this guy over here is going to be doing bad things,
Like,
and you're not prepared. Yeah, you're not prepared for that. There's no wrong direction if everybody's on the same page.
Right.
Welcome to Big Seeds General Store. We have the largest selection of fantasy-based items on this side of the Greater Dandaris River. Why don't we go inside and check out what I have for sale? Let's go. We are now inside Big Seeds General Store. Let's see what I have for sale. Well, this sure looks like a fine selection. We have bananas, onions, dragon eggs, pajama pants, occult statues, daggers, dangerous animals, socks, small figurines, real fake daggers, diplomas, drink koozies, hammers, potatoes. Well, that's just a small bit of our inventory. So you should do yourself a favor and come on down to Big Seeds General Store, where we will treat you like you want to be treated. And we are back with the Darning Watch. So we return with a small mouse pulling his rapier out, defending his equally tiny city that what's your name again? Tallow. Almost said the city. Tallow discovered in the basement of the tea shop house home. The little guard mouse pulls his rapier out and goes, "Stop!" and points it at you. A bunch of the civilian mice run into their buildings and shut their doors and close their little windows.
Are they closing like the
the blinds,
right?
Shutters? A few of the guard mice come out with their rapiers drawn.
Are any of them mounted?
No, none of them are mounted.
Damn it! I wanted like snapping turtles,
Oh god, that's brutal as
or, like
fuck. Hell
squirrels.
Yeah. Squirrels, okay. Snapping turtles, though.
Right.
I feel like that's too even. Like a mouse riding a squirrel is like
kind of
me
like
riding
Goofy
you.
riding a dog.
It's like, yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like Goofy having a dog or whatever.
All right.
Anyway,
Tallow
sorry.
is standing there, torch in hand. His jaw, basically, it's probably below the floor,
Did you die?
Uh,
Like jostle the rope.
I think I'm being arrested. I don't know if they have a court of law here, but, I'm at least entitled to a lawyer.
What?
You might want to come down here. I found the teapots, but they're being guarded by a populace.
Ask them if you are being detained.
Am I being detained?
What is your business here?
Well, that didn't really answer my question. But, if we're gonna keep up with that line of questioning, We're looking for the teapots.
You
And
don't have to answer anything unless they tell you you're being the thing. He's kind of like calling down.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to a lawyer. Also, we're gonna need those teapots back.
The mouse looks at his comrades and then back at you and kind of lowers his eye. I'm afraid I can't allow that. I'm sorry.
Is there a reason that you can't allow that? Because I could make it happen, like, very easily. Like, within the snap of a finger, I could be on you like a fucking, like a cat on a mouse, really. I'm not gonna do that, of course, because you're talking very kindly to me right now, aside from the whole, like, holding your weapons out thing. Like, if you stop doing that, maybe we could have a better conversation.
How's it going?
Can you just come down here, please?
Who is that?
He huffs, and yeah, we'll probably go about the process of what I guess like tying the rope off and climbing down or something.
Sure, absolutely. So the little mouse motions to his comrades who sheath their rapiers, and he says, "If you take our teapots, we will starve. White Whiskers will see to it."
What the fuck is a white whiskers? Oh, hey, Drake.
My God.
Yeah, now you understand. Drake, these are the mice people. Mice people, this is my comrade, Drake. Now that you go ahead.
It's like looking around at the like small town and everything. Like, who does your tailoring?
We have a guy.
Nods. Sorry. So the teapots?
Yes, they're part of White Whiskers' grand plan of revenge.
Okay. Is there anything more you can tell me about that whole situation?
No, unfortunately I cannot. I am bound by mouse law.
It's a shame. I did not study mouse law at Dining Watch.
Only
College.
bird law, right?
Right. Nods.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
You know, we're at an impasse here because we need those teapots. You need those teapots.
Listen. He motions to his guard friends who take a few steps back, and he comes forward. He says, "White Whiskers is gone, but he will return. If you wish to make some kind of deal, I will meet you in the tea shop, but I cannot talk here."
And we cannot parley with this White Whiskers?
No, he hates every human, every tall, long-limbed creature.
I'm not very
Does
tall, and I
uncomfortably.
don't
Well,
think.
like relatively speaking, he kind of like does a head height down to theirs, like you know.
I'm at least
we
like a
all-
middleman, right?
Yes! Now please leave before White Whiskers comes back.
Now, tell me real quick, what's stopping us from just like getting a rat trap and like
Well,
White Whiskers? You know,
I
like
mean-
we could get rid of him if you do you like him? Is he like your leader or?
Yes, but he is a terrible leader.
All right, we'll just fucking kill him then. Easy day.
We cannot. I will tell you more, but you must leave before he returns.
Okie doke.
All right.
He's
we
more
ought to get out
dangerous
of
than you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Could be
I'm
another ancient evil spellcaster trapped in animal form, and he points at you.
well. I mean, I don't think you've got the blood off your hands from the last one, so you know,
Look,
maybe.
that cat was evil embodied.
Go! Go!
As they're walking
Yeah,
back to the ladder,
yeah,
he's
go
just
walking
looking
back to
up.
the rope or whatever climbing.
No. So you guys-
Arguing back and forth as we go up the tree.
No, you beat the fuck out of that cat. Like that thing died 14
It
times.
turned that other person into, what was it, a rat or a squirrel or something?
She was like a chipmunk, so she wouldn't shut the fuck up either. Like it was horrible.
Right.
Squeak this, squeak that. Oh my god.
Olivia is at the top of the tunnel, clasping her hands in front of her, going, "Did you find the teapots?"
Yes. You also have a bit of a rat problem.
I was gonna
Oh.
say the same thing.
Oh, whatever do you mean?
It's quite a developed infestation.
They have like a tavern in there. I think they also have a tea house.
There's a blacksmith able to make small rapiers.
Right.
There's a tailor.
They have a tailor. He did good work too. Like,
It's
did you
very
see the
impressive.
embroidery on some of
Yeah,
those
the seam
uniforms?
work, very nice, quite
Ah,
sharp.
spectacular.
I'm not sure I understand.
We're gonna be waiting up here. One of them, they're like go-between guy that we were talking to. Yeah, they talk, by the way. So be prepared for that.
Also,
Don't hit him. You know, he's all right, I think. But he's gonna come up here and talk to us about why their leader is stealing teapots.
I see.
some sort of it seems like there's a revenge plot against humans as a whole, or something to do with this White Whiskers individual. I'm not really sure
Uh-huh.
what his beef is.
Well, I
but
set traps for rodents all the time here, so I'm not sure how I would have a problem with them.
well, they are, as I said, quite developed. They have a town square.
They built a fucking fountain down there.
A town
It
It was
square?
very
works.
impressive.
They have
aquatic
plumbing.
engineering, Yes, it's actually a little nicer than this town. I think. Like,
I'd rather
relatively
live there.
speaking.
Yeah.
Smaller,
Um,
obviously.
After a little bit, you hear, "I am here," and the mouse is sitting on top of the bar. He's wearing his big hat with the big feather coming out of it's blue, and his uniform is blue. It's one of those Spanish ones with the big like symbol in front, and it's got a little house. In
Does
the
he have one of
front.
those like really fluffy like
Yeah,
neck
really
pieces,
fluffy,
too?
fluffy neck collars. Yes.
Yeah.
He says, "My name is Manfred, and I am the captain of the guard of House.
It's just called house.
Yes, we are the mice of House.
Your house mice.
Yes."
That makes sense.
I knew a doctor named House once. Never mind.
I apologize for the disruption we've caused your world. For White Whiskers.
You know, it's not really a big thing. You know, like
Um,
to you guys, maybe it seems like you're stopping all like human movement up here, but really it's just tea.
Can you tell us what the thing with the teapots is about?
He's
Why then?
making a machine of war to wage war upon the humans.
Out of teapots.
Yes, it's part of his grand revenge. He lost his tail to one of your traps. He looks at Olivia. When he was young, and he's never forgiven you.
And we're sure he's not just like an angry hamster.
No, he is not. There was
Bad joke.
something down there. Some kind of material that White Whiskers ate, and it changed him. He has abilities now that are unnatural and strange, and he's using them to build this machine as well as sending us out to steal the teapots.
So it is you mice which are taking away the teapots.
Yes, he's turning us invisible and then allowing the teapot to shrink in our grasp.
Snaps and points at Olivia like that's how it happened.
Wait, you're weaker than a mice, Olivia.
That is
Like one whole
quite
mouse.
interesting. Several
No.
mice were able to pull
Yes.
something away from you.
I was
I mean, I guess you would
surprised
probably not expecting resistance.
from the teapot. No.
Right. That makes some sense as well.
Hmm. I'm iffy on it, but continue.
Let it
White
slide this
Whiskers
time.
was once the court wizard of our true king, Arthur Goldfur, but he has been missing for a month now. And
Sorry,
White
this is
Whiskers
the Mouse King.
Yes,
Got
Yeah,
it.
King
He's
Arthur,
not.
keep up.
You know?
the king of house.
Yeah, he pulled a sword from a cheese wheel and like, he got up there real fast.
Oh man.
But White Whiskers, once our king disappeared, took command for himself, and immediately began this revenge. We have been working day and night to satiate his need for revenge, and his machinations are soon to be fulfilled.
Okay.
It's gonna
So-
make a terrible cheese pun.
So let me get this straight. Your leader, who was the wizard of your king, hates humans because he lost his tail when he was young, and he's like counting on his fingers, and he wants to build a war machine out of teapots because he's so creative. And
I have not heard of this before. It is actually fairly creative.
I mean, yeah, it's a first for me. Like, I don't know. So remind me again why we don't just gib him when he walks back through your little mouse town.
He has abilities.
Yeah, but you know, I also have abilities. I could be
have-
your wizard.
In order to prove that he was our new leader, or at least to prove that he had the power to be our new leader, he voluntarily stepped into a mousetrap. It did not kill him.
I don't
mean,
know if you know my friend Drake here, but he once punched all 9 lives out of a cat, and probably a few extra. Like I think that cat went down the negatives. It went flying, like it splattered all over a wall. Like it was crazy shit. I've never seen anything like it. Something so inhumane yet so awe-inspiring all at once. So if he
Just
could do
sighing and
that,
pinching
It
too,
doesn't
between
matter.
us.
He has not left the construct for days. I fear that the next time we see him, it will be at the helm of this war machine.
Oh, so it's like a teapot war suit.
I think so, yes.
That is pretty cool.
I like that. That
I mean,
you
it's
know
like
what?
a bad thing or whatever,
Right.
obviously, but pretty badass.
But at the
as
same
well.
time, like that's pretty solid. Like I like that. Do you think the Dotting Watch could get us some of those?
We will have to put it in, in the next quarterly review as a suggestion,
Right, it's a business expense though. Like it's-
obviously. And I'm not sure, you know how things are lately with financing and all that.
We must find out what happened to Arthur Goldfur. That is the only way that my people can know peace. If we
Sure.
dispose White Whiskers just through violence, the mice of house will revolt, and more of my brothers will die.
You don't want.
well,
yeah,
that
like
is a price
civil
I'm
war.
willing to pay.
That's not good.
Uh.
Good. That was the terrible cheese bun I was gonna make earlier, but I couldn't resist this time. Everything's gonna broke.
I don't appreciate that.
I don't appreciate that.
I'm sorry.
All right, so where did your king go questing? What was he doing when he went missing?
He was running a small supply raid on this tea shop.
Okay.
So when you say supply raid, this is like going into the cupboards and
Right, and
running-
taking
okay,
only what we
yes.
need and bringing
Sure.
it back down to house.
Classic
in order
mouse
to-
behavior. That's not the
feed our
issue at
people.
hand here, I don't think. I was just trying to clarify that this was not some sort of like armed
No,
military
we don't
engagement with the
take
unfortunate
teapots.
inhabitants.
It doesn't make sense. We're starving down there because White Whiskers won't allow us to steal anything else.
That's an issue as well. Like, and he's going to dig around in his pockets and pull out like a hunk of cheese that's probably like half the size of the mouse man here, I think. I want to say that was one of the magic qualities you gave me for this coat. Is that once I can pull once per thing I can pull out like a random mundane item?
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's will be like roughly mouse-sized hunk of cheese.
Oh, bunch of cheese.
That's like gnawed on, got pocket lint
Yep.
and stuff.
A
like-
cigarette
Oh my
was put out
goodness.
in it.
Yeah, he pulls a butt out of it. and
This
flicks
is a
it.
major bounty indeed. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure,
Ah,
that should help.
All right, Olivia, did you catch any?
It's manchego as well.
I can really taste the Chago.
He nods.
Olivia, would you have happened to have caught any mice recently in your traps?
No, I haven't. Not for some time, actually.
Mr. King Mouse, are you here? I'm looking for a king mouse, Arthur, probably about yay high, around these parts.
We did not. White Whiskers would not allow us to send a search party. But-
That seems like an odd thing for someone who is taking. He's also benefiting from the king being missing. It seems. So.
Yes, many of my
that's
brothers
suspi-
have the
suspicious.
same suspicions, but we lack the ability to stand against him.
Do you have anything of his, perhaps?
White Whiskers?
No, of your king. Like any articles of clothing.
Yes. He reaches in his pocket and pulls out a scarf. It's a red scarf. He says, "This was his."
Okay, Lucy, can you get a whiff?
Dog comes over. It gives the mouse a lick. And the mouse is like, ah, ah, ah. I'm gonna have to get this. I'm gonna have to get this washed.
Yep. That's.
Do you have a laundromat down there?
Oh my goodness! Do you guys dry clean? How much do you charge for like? And he's
Right.
like holding out his trench coat.
Yeah, I'm
for
also.
like a
I've been
human-sized.
looking for rent. You know, like a
Lucy
place to
goes
live.
into the bag.
I imagine it's quite low down there.
And begins to snuff around, and goes oof, oof, oof.
All right, we got something. And he'll pitter patter over there as fast as little feet can carry him.
There is a large barrel. There's like a stack of barrels. And then in the back, one has been tipped over. Lucy is like pawing at it.
I'll pry the barrel open.
There is so it's been tipped over, so you stand it up.
Oh,
And
okay.
when you stand it up,
I gotcha.
you see a very squashed mouse wearing a
Ooh.
golden piece like Spanish armor.
Sorry, are you okay?
It's no, he's
Very squashed.
Like
yeah.
like in a cartoon when you get run over by a steamroller.
right,
Oh,
right.
no.
Or when you drop a 50-pound barrel on a mouse.
Or
Ah.
that, yeah, similar effect. Strangely enough.
Huh.
Ugh,
Well,
gross.
As you tip the barrel up, you notice that the bottom has been slightly singed in order to make it unbalanced.
So,
all right, it's looking like it's looking like premeditated murder.
this fucking mice, man. It's cold blooded.
It seems as though your king has fallen.
He takes off
No,
his
the
hat.
barrel fell.
The
on
the
him.
barrel has fallen.
Oh,
onto
I
your
get you
king,
meant right.
who has
yeah.
fallen
He is
into
now
not
fallen.
alive. Yeah.
He was my best friend.
That's unfortunate.
You might not want to. He'll cover his little eyes.
Put a napkin over the
Right. I
King
take
Arthur.
I take the scarf and I lay the scarf over the bottom.
Oh man, the
The
napkin
scarf was
does-
mouse sized. It's
See that won't.
Oh,
yeah.
true.
you just kind of lay the scarf over him and just a strip
There we
of
go.
cloth, Yeah.
I put two
Like
little gold
someone's-
coins on his eyes.
Feel like it's probably
White Whiskers has to pay for what he has done.
All right, so we get to kill him. Thank fuck. I've been saying the whole
look.
time.
Okay, that is not how a normal justice system functions.
I don't.
all right?
It's a mouse person who's
Whoa.
killing his friends.
Right.
His
But-
king. This is technically what's
I
the
mean-
what's the
Olivia's-
word?
Olivia's is like, is
Regicide.
everything okay?
We're talking about regicide, Olivia. Calm down.
There was, an unfortunate, death of a king over here.
In my
He's a mouse
pantry?
king. Yes.
Oh,
A barrel, it seems to be of a rice, is the culprit. Well, I
Licks
guess
a
the
piece of it
implement.
inside the barrel.
Oh,
Brown rice.
Right.
3 months.
uncooked.
Uncooked. You open your mouth, your teeth are just caked in rice.
Manfred puts his hat back on and he looks to you and says, "I have to return. If I'm not present when White Whiskers comes back, I will be in grave danger."
Is there any recourse for this? If you I don't know. Is there any sort of law down there?
Yes, there
that
is.
he answers
And
to?
if I was able to bring his body back and bring him to a court of my brothers, we may be able to see justice. But again, he has been inside his teapot construct for days now, and I am worried that it is close to completion. I am not sure we'll be able to move fast enough.
We could be we could accompany you as a third party sort of mediating influence. The Dawning Watch has granted some of these powers in many of these nations. I believe this is one. I do not mean to presume on the sovereignty of, Mouseland down there. But,
House.
sorry, Houseland down there.
I didn't hear any error in what you said out of that.
And,
Yes, then if you would take my king's
we could
body.
serve him his, whatever. You're a murderer.
At the very
documentation.
least, you have more a chance against him if he becomes violent than any of us do.
Sure. Our goal is not to cause any harm to these teapots, though, I don't think.
Right.
That
We
will
want
cause
to
a bit of an
preserve the
issue.
teapots.
Is he going to take mine? And he'll just, hold up the teapot again, probably. With
I
his
hope not, but
under an arm.
he may be close enough to construction that he needs no new teapots.
That's a shame. That means I've been walking around like an idiot with this teapot all day.
No
No
I
reason.
suspect that was the case, and that's why I did it, because I think that you being manacled to a teapot's really funny. And I've been enjoying it, and Lucy's been talking shit behind your back the whole time, saying how much of an idiot you look like.
I always knew she looked like she was judging me.
She is quite judgy at times. Okay.
Well, do you want us to accompany you back down, or would you
Yes.
like to call for us when? Okay, we will
No,
come
please
with you.
accompany down. I am
Let-
worried that White Whiskers has already returned and noticed
right.
my absence.
Do you want me to bring you king?
Yes, please.
Can you give me one of those wrappers you have in your coat? I don't want to touch
He
it.
digs around in his pockets and pulls out some random food wrap. He probably has to go through a couple to find one that doesn't have notes on it, and then hands it over.
I will delicately, as delicate as possible, get it under him and scoop him up.
I'm imagining the flattened armor and
Yeah,
stuff
it's like a
too
Coke
coming
bottle.
up. Like it's just
Yeah, it's just-
exactly. It's like somebody stepped on a tube of Go-Gurt.
Oh.
I get
Oh,
as much
God.
of him up as I can.
You do a pretty good job. There's some bits, but they're not going to be needed for identification. So,
Of course.
you guys come back out, and she says, Olivia says, "I am so confused right now. What is
Join the party."
happening?"
Well, the rightful heir to the house throne was, it looks to be potentially murdered by using a barrel in your stock room.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh.
have to extradite the rat that killed him. Bring him to justice in our own way.
We'll be
Street
accompanying
justice.
him here, representatives of the peace to, bring the murderer to justice, and hopefully in so doing secure the town's teapots.
Well, good luck. I'll have tea ready for you when you're done.
Thanks. Yeah, we
Okay.
probably won't need luck when dealing with. And he'll kind of whisper away from Manfred. Like small rat people, but it's fine.
They are like a mouse, but
They are very small.
I'm a little concerned about this teapot construction thing that he has suggested. That could be problematic.
I mean, what could a mouse wizard really do? Like, I already told you how much I don't like wizards, so.
Making our way over toward the
Yeah.
hole to
ladder.
start, climbing back down. Saying, that's the thing about wizards, though. Like, size tends to not matter so much when it comes to magical manipulation of reality.
No, that's right. The last time I met a wizard that was small, it was like a goblin, and he like raised an army.
There is a green light coming from the hole.
Oh,
That's different.
See, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
That's classic magic stuff.
No, that checks out. That's magic, of course.
Classic.
I can taste it.
There is a whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay.
I'm worried that he is doing something down there.
Me too, little man.
So it's 30-foot fall?
Yeah.
I jump down.
Oh,
Wow.
There's a rope. Like,
I
probably
I want to
to
like slide down the ladder, basically.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
As the ladder begins to break, it
Ah.
literally breaks all the way
Is
down.
this all old and stuff?
Yeah, it's mostly rotten wood and like rusty nails.
We avoided that the first time going.
Right.
Yeah. Do I have
All right.
advantage?
No, you don't. You
Shame.
just jumped into the hole.
Drake just sighs as he's
Oh my God.
does a jump down and then oh,
You take
Oh.
1 point of damage as you hit the ground.
Okay.
not too bad.
Not
Could
too
be
bad.
I want
worse.
to superhero land, but it hurts.
But it hurts. Yeah, you bruised your knee pretty bad.
Ow, that I hope it looked good.
Drake's
hope it
gonna
looked
be like casually sliding down the rope, like hand over hand.
So,
like-
The pile of teapots is glowing this greenish light. It is pulsating, brighter and darker, while this electric hum is coming from inside. At the although the mice have run into their buildings and closed their windows, but you see that one of the buildings has been blasted away, and there are little dead guard mouse bodies in one of the streets. There is a rumbling sound, and a green teapot, simple ceramic, with "We love you, Betsy" written on one side, rises out of the pile, and the top of the lid begins to open as a mouth and says, "I see. These are the outsiders who have come to invade my house."
All right, listen here, White Whiskers. We're here to arrest you for killing your king, and I take it teapots, I guess.
Also, the posthumous kidnapping of the mayor's grandmother.
Yeah, I think you're talking as her ashes right now. That might be her teapot.
It was necessary. The
Uh-huh.
That's all,
necromantic
okay.
magic was imbued in these ashes, is giving this form life.
Necromantic, you
He
said.
just nods slowly and slips a hand into his pocket to get his brass knuckles ready.
Yep.
Pulls his
Now.
other hand out, starts stretching his
What?
wrist out.
What have you come to really do? You cannot arrest me. I am
Oh.
beyond such petty mouse laws.
I don't think that
Do you think you passed in the bird law? I do know a little bit about that.
he did study bird law.
I am
wild.
beyond even the laws of man and elf. I
All
am
right.
my own god.
And this little teapot going tick, tick. Yeah, that's
All right, then.
talking, yeah.
So really, I guess what we're here to do is kill you and save your people from your tyranny and the people up there from the teapot theft. So
Yes.
We want to have like another cup of tea before we leave. You know, it's getting late. So if you don't mind, let us just kick your fucking ass.
You may try. Manfred pulls out his sword and goes, I will stand with you.
Okay. Just make sure you're not standing too close. To be sure that I don't inadvertently, kingslay you or whatever.
There is a rumble, and the teapots rise up in the shape of about an 8-foot tall humanoid shape made out of interlocking teapots and lids and the spouts that have been sawed off and put in places to resemble musculature. The head of the teapot is the green I Love Betsy teapot, but pivoted in a way so the spout is facing down and the lid is as a mouth with the handle out of the forehead. There is steam coming, green steam coming from the spouts of the teapots as this teapot construct puts its fist into its hand and cracks some teapot ceramic knuckles and says, all right, who wants it first?
Before anything happens, I want to look to the little village, and I want to scream out, "People of house, mouses. Is it mouses or is it mice?
I think
People
they're
of
both
house,
technically grammatically correct.
mices. I come with the body of your king. He was not slain by one of us, but by this fuck. I ask that you help us defeat him so we can get this show on the road."
Come, my brothers! And there is a few of the buildings slam open, and mice wielding sabers all gather in a large flood of these white guard mice wearing the little blue uniforms and the little white feathers. They're going to count as a swarm of white mice.
Do they have shields?
No, unfortunately not. Just
Damn.
rapiers.
I want to call for a shield wall so bad.
All right, so we are going to go into classic combat. If you guys want to roll me an initiative roll.
Oh boy.
19.
How'd I do? 11. Eh.
Roll 20 is being real slow.
As it is wont to do.
Mm-hmm.
As for the swarm, where did my character go? Oh, there it is. I found it. All right, so 14 on the swarm and a 10. Nice. On the golem. All right, so, Tallow, go ahead.
All right, I will gently and daintily put the king's body down on the ground behind us.
Okay.
Do a quick prayer and charge at the golem.
All right, he's about 10 feet away from you.
Yeah, I run right at him, and I'd like to pull out my scimitar and shield.
Okay.
And waylay this teapot man.
All right. You go ahead and roll to hit.
Okay. That is an 18.
18. You
with branding smite as well.
Smash. Does that turn your attack magical?
It makes it radiant damage.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Nice. All right. So it slices into the teapots, and you see that there is this like shimmer of green symbols that flash for a moment, but your radiant damage passes through it. Go ahead and roll me damage.
That doesn't seem right.
Nope.
Oh, that was another attack.
Yeah, click the name of the
the name
scimitar
on
and
the
roll.
attack roll will give you that.
Did
It's
I?
like scimitar in your
In
Oh, I
your
was trying
in
to
the
click.
chat.
the roll.
Yeah, in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
If you use the crit one, it'll
Yeah.
double
So we'll
up the
just
damage.
we'll just
so-
go with the 7 on the radiant, right?
And then the 6 as well, I think.
It is actually immune to slashing damage.
Okay.
Okay.
So you do 7 magical radiant damage to it.
You said doo-doo. Sorry.
All right. So then it is the swarm's turn. They are going to just run up him and begin stabbing with their little sabers on his legs.
It's probably not a good sign that he's immune to slashing.
No. But piercing.
We'll see. Yeah.
A 13 is enough to get past, or no, is not enough to hit him. So they do not do any damage. Their little sabers are not enough to get through the teapots. All right. So then it is Drake's turn.
All right. Uh, oh man, I guess Drake is going to run up and punch the crap out of it. Yeah, yep. He's
Okay.
gonna do that. He's gonna run up and spend a key point to flurry of blows after he takes an attack action. So here comes bonk number 1 as he runs up, readies his brass knuckles on his hand, and gets
Bring
ready
it.
to punch the crap out of this assortment of
Teapots.
teapots. 13.
Not enough
It's
to
not
hit
a
it.
very good attack. Can he try and position himself around to the flanking
Sure.
angle
Absolutely.
with this next attack or something? I
Gives
didn't
you a
think about that
+2.
initially.
Yep.
Cool. Here comes another bonk. One of his 2 extra attacks from what you call it. Ooh, hey.
Ooh, that's a crit. Nice.
That
All
is
right.
a critical bonk.
You smash into him.
Says, take that, Teapot to Miss Prime.
That's bludgeoning damage, right?
It is bludgeoning
That is
damage.
double damage.
Ooh, see, that's good.
So
Drake,
that
careful of the
is-
teapots.
Well, at
there
this
is no-
point,
yeah.
that is probably not highest on the list of my concerns. And then he will attack once more.
Okay.
Since these are technically unarmed strikes, he can't do his smite on
12 is not enough to hit,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
12 would have been that one, right? Okay. After those attacks, I will drop my key point. And that is that.
All right. The White Whiskers from inside the green teapot is going to go. You are powerful fighters, but this teapot construct has been imbued with magical potential. It begins to glow bright greenish red. It's going to use haste until the end of its
hi.
next turn. The golem magically gains +2 bonus to its AC, has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and can use its slam attack as a bonus action.
I don't enjoy
It is going to turn to you, Drake, and go, now you will pay! And it's going to use its slam 3 times, once as a bonus action and twice normally. This is the first one.
Okay, that hits.
Second one.
That also hits.
And third one.
Third one does not.
All right. First one does 13 damage. Bashes into your shoulder.
It's going to be bad.
Second one does 12 damage.
Okay.
Hits you in the stomach.
Down to 11. Ow.
All right. It is your turn, Mr. Tallow.
Okay. I've realized that I have extra attack, which I did not remember.
Hey, nice.
Ah.
So I have that thing.
Gonna help.
I should have used an open hand monk feature to make him take a dex save or fall prone, and I forgot to do that. So it sucks when you pick up characters you haven't played in a while.
Yep.
Sometimes. So it goes.
I am going to use my Tenant of Devotion, which gives me my weapon becomes magical and
Nice.
deals addition my charisma damage, but that is an action
Nice.
to cast.
Okay.
As a bonus action, I don't know if I have anything.
Probably not. Spiritual weapon's one of the only paladin things that let you use your bonus action regularly. that I can
Right.
think of.
All right.
Anyway.
Oh, I cast Sanctuary on Drake.
Oh, nice. All right. What does that do?
Wisdom save to attack me? I think?
Yeah. Until the spell ends, any creature targeted by who targets the worded creature with an attack or harmful spell must make a Wisdom save. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the spell.
All right. So it is then the swarm's turn. They are going to continue crawling up him, stabbing. A
Does that-
16 is enough to hit. You see that their swords are imbued with magic. They are blessed weapons.
Wow. These guys are probably better craftsfolk than the
Right.
townsfolk. above.
9 piercing damage to
We
the
need to bring them to the
construct.
Darning Watch.
It roars as you see little flecks chip off of its lower half, and it turns its teapot head down, and steam comes out in anger. It is your turn again, Drake.
Does sanctuary end if I attack? I feel like it does. Maybe
If
it
the
doesn't.
warded creature makes an attack or casts a spell. Yeah.
Okay,
So maybe I
Then
didn't think about this.
that's fine. I've got a thing I can do. Yeah. All right. So he will go ahead and spend his action to expend 10 points from his 9 points from his lay on hand pool. Yeah, up to the maximum amount remaining in the pool. Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't in increments or anything. So yeah, he's going to give himself back 9 hit points with the lay on hand. So he still has 1 in his pool here. That'll be his action, I think.
Okay.
That will. I don't know if you should dodge or not. I will not. He is just gonna go ahead and spend the rest of his turn getting ready to turn away attacks as he's able.
Okay. The construct is going to the haste is over. I'm gonna roll the recharge.
It's a D6.
Oh, it's D6. Yep. All right. He does not recharge, and he's going to make 2 slam attacks. One against the swarm at his feet, and one against you, which is he's got to roll a wisdom save for.
You is
Drake.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, wow.
Wow.
He
Looks like he
maxed
does.
out on that wisdom save. Yep.
Thank God that wasn't his attack roll.
Nope.
Here's hoping.
Oof.
Still a
That
good
hits.
attack roll.
22. 13 bludgeoning.
Alright.
He's going to make his
Healed.
slam attack against the mice. A 10. He misses the swarm. They move out of the way and move out of the way and stop it. I am doing this for you, brothers. Then it is your turn again, Tallow.
Okay. I will finally attack correctly. Now I have my magical weapon. It deals magic damage. And I will be, obviously, smiting as well.
Okay.
So I will attack once. That is a natural 20.
Nice.
Boom.
So there's that.
Whoa.
Fucking A.
And now
there
it's
we go.
magic too.
And
so
that
that
is
takes that slashing.
A
Yeah.
level 2 smite.
Hot diggity dog.
Nice.
That is level
And
1.
I
It
will-
only roll 2d8 base damage for your smite anyway, so that'd be level 1 smite, I think.
Yeah. You need one more D8 in there.
If you
You're spending
are,
it.
well, it'd be 2 with the crit technically.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. So yeah, roll me 2 more D8s.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're doing a second.
Yeah, doing a
level
second
anyway.
level spell. Smite. Yeah.
8.
Nice. 8 more
Additional.
damage. Wow.
And
Alright.
then I will attack again.
Get him. Get him.
14.
14 is his AC. You hit.
Okay.
And actually, yeah, if I was flanking because of him.
Oh
he would
yeah,
be
yeah.
flanking
Also
because
that.
of me,
Yep.
so
Yep. So you
we'll
get
go up
your
to a
16 definitely hits.
Okay. That is
Nice.
10 slashing damage, which is magical damage.
Nice.
Okay, no.
No radiant damage there.
Oh, I totally forgot.
It was just a smite like attack. or
Yeah,
whatever.
that adds the smite automatically, I think.
Oh,
since
okay.
I'm a
Gotcha,
paladin.
gotcha. Okay.
But it would be 10 plus 3 from charisma as well in the first one, so plus an additional 6.
Plus an additional 6. Nice. All right. So this thing is not looking super healthy. It is the swarm's turn. They're going to crowd back up and start stabbing ruthlessly at his toes again.
Any teapot's weakness, it's toes.
It's toes. Yep.
Classic.
They do not do enough damage. It still roars and tries to brush them off.
That's what you get for swinging at a thing that doesn't have toes.
Hey.
All right, it is your turn again, Drake.
All right. Drake is going to punch.
I roll to punch.
He will do that. He will roll to punch. With his main attack, that's what he'll be doing. Yeah. And that's not a good attack.
No, a 10 does not hit.
10 altogether. Then he will spend a key point to use patient defense and take a dodge as a bonus action.
All right.
And then I believe that's gonna be his turn.
All right.
So attacks against him will be disadvantaged.
Yes. It is the golem's turn. It is going to do the same thing. Spend an attack trying to stomp the mice, and spend an attack trying to mush your face in, Drake.
Oh man.
Here's the attack against Drake at disadvantage. A 15.
Oh
Yikes.
my god.
Just barely misses. Oh boy.
was
Really
almost
glad
a
it was that
natural 20.
disadvantage.
And
Wow.
I'd be
Yep.
dead AF.
And then it is the against the swarm. A 25 hits the swarm. They only take 7 bludgeoning because they have resistance against slashing damage.
They need to make me armor.
Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. Okay.
Yeah, they're just a swarm. That's
They're just a swarm,
it,
yeah.
It cuts non-magical damage in half because there's a bunch of them to distribute it over.
All right. So that is their turn. Then we're going to go. Oh no, that was the golem's turn. So he gets a few of them. He mushes a few of these mice, and it's kind of grody looking.
Is it looking like still half the size or larger?
They
or
are
they-
just barely half the size larger.
Roger
So
that.
they're yep. All right, and then it is Talow's turn.
Going back again. Same deal.
All right.
He's going to waylay. I'm trying my best not to break, like, especially Grandma Pot.
Right at the very top there. Yep.
But, like, the cheap pots, I'm not really worried
yeah,
about. So
yeah.
those are the ones I'm targeting more than anything else.
Cool.
Okay.
So you get a +2 because you're flanking.
So that is a 28.
That hits.
And that is a 16.
That also hits.
The first one will have a
Fucking
smite, level 2.
All right.
Let's see if it adds it.
Nope.
That is 2.
That is a level 1.
So go ahead and roll me one more d8.
That is 4.
Alright.
Nice. All right.
So-
So
And that is plus an additional 3 from my charisma.
Ooh, all right. There's not many teapots left in this guy's center of mass.
And then the next attack damage.
Ooh,
That
that's
is-
a better roll.
There is a thunderous
7 and 13.
explosion as the golem begins to crumble. Roll me a dexterity check to catch Grandma's teapot.
Either of us?
Just no,
Got
he did because he's the one who killed the golem.
19.
19 is enough to definitely just the teapot. You feel scrambling inside as well as
Let me out! Let me out! I will destroy you! Ah!
ting, 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 ting.
Shaking the teapot furiously.
That's it's not great.
The mouse you originally talked to, Manfred comes up and says, "Thank you so much. You have, we did it."
Right.
Yep, we did. The usurper has been defeated.
He gets down on one knee, and the rest of the guards get down on one knee, in front of you guys. The mice folk of the house, the town of House, begin to come out, and they all are begin cheering for you guys as you're holding up this green teapot with the very pissed off White Whiskers inside. Manfred says, "Enough. We have seen that." He points to the body of the king. "I have seen it with my own eyes, and he confessed. White Whiskers killed Arthur. And I think that it would be best if we picked a new king, someone free from not only White Whiskers' control, but Arthur's influence. We will hold elections for the next king, and all the mice of House will get a voice."
I would like to put my name in the running for your king. As,
What are the residency requirements
right.
for holding that office?
Right. I'd like to know if there's a need to be here all the time.
Yes, all the time. And I don't think you'll fit in the mayoral manor,
Right.
the king's manor.
I'm a little too big, and that's a first for me. I've never had that issue before, so I feel quite welcome here.
You may
I'm,
take any of the teapots back to the surface that were not destroyed in the battle. They
That's-
serve no purpose to us.
Drake, I have a very interesting idea.
Does it involve like stemming some of the bleeding?
Oh, and he'll walk over. He'll touch your kneecap, and I will use all of my points of lay on hands to heal you for 10.
Oh boy.
It's not enough to get him back to full, but
Nope.
how much
And
were
back
you
over-
at? What
I was down to 7
down to 7? What?
Out of what?
Oh,
out of
man.
36. He only attacked me.
Yep.
He did.
Yep.
You were a great distraction, though.
Mm-hmm.
I will then use Cure Wounds 2 times.
I want to see if I have any. I don't think I have like any ability to actually heal so much. So
So you get 6.
I do. Okay.
So you get an
Is it-
additional 11. That's 22
Don't
big
love
ones.
all the.
I don't know why it's dealing radiant damage.
Yeah, I'm dealing radiant damage to you and then healing you.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Ow.
what are you guys going to do with White Whiskers in the green teapot full of grandma ashes?
I will.
Hmm.
I'm gonna shake a little more to think on it.
We should put him into this teapot, and he's gonna take the teapot that he's probably had under his arm for this whole fight. here.
Yeah, it's just
So he only punches with one arm
yeah,
anyway.
Yep.
Oh
Can you do me a favor? Can you open the sock in there too?
god, it is quite ripe in there, and he like
Right.
shakes it out and into your like at your feet or something like that.
I'm gonna pick the sock up and I'm going to have it in my hand and quickly set the teapot on the ground, open the top, and reach in and grab him.
He is a very old white mouse, and you're able to snatch him pretty easily as he's doesn't have very far to move inside the teapot. You grab him and he tries to bite you.
Sock on his hands. That's classic, anti-mouse biting arm.
Yep.
I imagine he's biting and it's like not even strong.
It's not. No, it's really not. No.
Oh,
I don't know.
I want to
get you.
I want to pet him a bit.
He's got bright blue eyes, like almost gem-like in quality, as well as like what looks like blue veins running over his skin.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Classic
take it weird.
evil magical influence signs there. Just gesture toward it.
Don't take this weird, but you got beautiful eyes, if that's any consolation. And then I will put him in the sock.
Okay.
Stinks in here.
And I will
Yeah, throw
flail the
him
sock
in.
around.
Throw him in this teapot.
And I'll wrap up the end of the sock and set it in the teapot and close the lid.
That's
All right.
pretty good.
So my idea, right, aside from stemming and bleeding.
Uh-huh. No,
These-
so far so good on that front. By the
Right,
way.
yeah. No worries.
It's kind of still bruised, but generally better.
Not dying
Yeah.
is a good spot to be in.
Wheezing a bit as he lights a cigarette. Oh, God.
So these mouse people seem to have like a really good foundation for blacksmithing. Like they have magical weapons.
Mhm.
So, do you think we could get a deal with the town above, so we can
Here's
maybe
what
have
I'm
like
thinking.
something?
Maybe we get a contract with the Donning Watch. And I'm sure there's some sort of magician in there that can like enlarge stuff.
Oh, very
We
true.
give them a small amount of ingredients, right? They make very small but very fine goods, and then we grow them in size and have what we need.
All
It's
right, I
just
like that idea. Something. I just want to make sure these people can eat, and I would like a new sword. I think that'd be nice.
Sure.
You see that they've begun the electoral process. There's the
There's
ballot
little
box.
banners up.
Yep. Yep.
It's like that
People
Obama
already
face
have buttons somehow.
one, right? It's like the blue and red.
Yep.
Lineless sort of
Right.
portrait thing. A plus. Wow, they are quite efficient.
Wow, very
industrious mice.
I hope their electoral college works better than ours does.
Manfred is going to come up and say, I'm sorry, but you're going to need to leave now. We will
Oh.
go back to our life of solitude, away from the outside world as much as possible. It is what Arthur would have wanted, and I think it is the best for our people.
Well,
Well,
listen,
no.
Drake had a great idea, and I'll let him tell you about it. But sad to say, your king's dead, and you said it yourself that the best way to go about this is, to move forward from the ideologies of those who came before you. So maybe
Bring it to the people, and
Right.
perhaps they may make a slightly different decision.
Roll me a
Very-
persuasion check.
can we do a
terrible at
joint
that.
persuasion check?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm
Mm.
actually pretty good at that.
Hey, I rolled
21
well.
and 16.
Wow. All right. So
Get a
Manfred
minus one
thinks
to
a little
those.
bit and says, "Very well. I will put it on my docket because I am running for king of house."
Might be an interesting platform. Yeah, you could suggest that an economic relationship with some other outside groups could be beneficial to the
We
town.
have thought about it before, and I think that after maybe some of the disruption that we have done to the outside world, we owe them some service of our own.
And some teapots.
And some teapots, yes.
Okay,
Again,
uh,
you may take any of the teapots that
Sure.
you wish.
And yes, Drake will go about like looping all of the available teapots, through the handles with rope or whatever, trying to collect all of them that aren't broken, I guess, in the most efficient manner possible.
How many did we break?
Yeah. How many are we looking
Quite
at,
a
I guess?
few. There were like maybe 30 or 40 teapots that you just shattered in the battle, but there is a good 110
Oh my
around you
God.
right now.
Okay, so yeah, he'll just tie a big knot at the end of the rope and then attach, keep sending them down the rope essentially,
Cool.
stack them all up, and then start trying to
Pull 'em
climb
out,
up
yeah.
with that attached to him, and then bring it out, kind of deal.
As you guys bring it out, Olivia's eyes are growing wider and wider. Teapots.
It's like the handkerchief trick.
You
with
weren't
the
lying.
Magician.
How did all of those end up down there?
The mouse infestation, you know.
Mice infestations usually don't do that.
Yeah, but they're like a people. They have better blacksmiths than you do.
They're holding elections right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't go down there.
It's a very contentious election year, it sounds like.
It's gonna be a big one, I think, this time.
Somebody's claiming mail-in fraud or something.
Already.
I'm not sure.
It's only been 15 minutes.
It's really impressive, actually.
You guys bring the teapots up, and Olivia begins taking hers out and then putting them back. It says, "You'll want to go deliver Grandma Betsy to the mayor yourself. I'm sure that he's going to want a explanation, and he might want to, I don't know, take things further. You should explain to him that you've solved this problem."
Is Grandma Betsy still in the urn?
Like,
Yeah, in the teapot.
in the tea urn?
Yeah. He was literally controlling the teapot golem through her ashes by like
so were
bathing in her ashes.
So he was just chilling out,
Right.
nestled in them. They
Nestled.
weren't like
No, they
okay,
weren't.
distributed all over
Nope,
or
nope.
something like
He
that.
was
Okay.
nestling in a giant pile of ashes.
Betsy.
That's gross.
Pile of Betsy.
Pile Betsy. Yep.
Sure. So I guess we head back to the mayor then. Good luck, with the tea house and all of that.
Thank you. And
Don't go down there.
Also, maybe stop putting out the mouse traps, as they are
Right.
capable of like speech and self-determination.
I thought it was weird that they had little suits on when I took them out of the traps.
Yeah, about that. Definitely like murder. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's not
It's like
okay.
it's like a Kevin McAllister situation. I'm not sure it's okay to use that kind of force in defending your domicile against thieves.
Yeah,
No,
when you go to like put electricity shit on all your doorknobs, like that's crazy talk. Like that's a little too much.
Well,
You're killing people.
throwing paint cans at people's heads.
I
and
will
stuff.
make sure I collect them all and keep an eye out for little suits.
Maybe
for armor.
signs, like
Right.
private
read?
property, do not trespass, no trespassing, sort of thing.
Oh,
I don't know. I assume
I
that
have
that's
so much to learn about my new neighbors.
they aren't super friendly. They seemed like they were trying to keep to themselves, but that may change here, depending on who wins this election.
All right. Well, I look forward to to the winner being decided.
Such a stupid.
You may be the ambassador to the nation of house mice.
Yeah, I mean, they might come to you. You better be careful. Just be ready. Don't fight them either. I wouldn't.
Scary people.
All right. So you guys head out and head back to the mayor. You're rushed inside with Grandma Betsy's teapot, and he says, "Where did you find this? Who did it? Tell me
well,
now."
We
What are you
have
waiting
him.
for?
Just holds up the teapot with the wriggling sock bundle in it, probably.
That does not answer my question.
No, it actually does. This is the perpetrator. His name is White Whiskers. He's a mouse. An evil sorcerer mouse.
Oh. Okay, well, that makes more sense. I thought you
Yeah.
just meant a normal mouse, and I was
No,
you
no.
take me for a fool. But no,
Yeah,
that makes
right.
sense.
Much more reasonable.
Right.
Add in the fact that he is a great and powerful wizard.
right, right. No, wizard animals are frighteningly common in the human lands.
It's actually not the first one I've dealt with in the past 3 months.
Right. This is like this is a streak, if anything.
Oh, interesting. I would love to pick your brains. I'm sure you have fascinating stories about your travels throughout the great land of Paralandia.
I haven't told you about the time he killed a cat.
Oh my god, look, that cat was also the embodiment of a very evil magical entity. Okay, and I did not smush this mouse. And he holds up the teapot again. He says, look, imprisoned to be sort of punished at your discretion. and sort of, I guess, not as much of a threat anymore.
Well,
It
I do it
appears.
before he can cast spells again, because
That may be a good idea.
he might be scary.
He was able to make like a horrible teapot construct. It seemed that was the aim of stealing all the teapots in
Well,
town.
I am, if not nothing but humane, and I won't torture him. But I think I will go find a pretty heavy rock and just,
Use a barrel. It will be more poetic.
Yeah, I would say use a barrel if you care about our feelings on this situation. He would deserve it.
He
barrel.
murdered the king of his nation with a a barrel.
Oh, he is a usurper then.
Yes, he is. He just nods solemnly, like, mm-hmm.
Very
Silently, Tallow does a prayer in the corner.
well. I will use a barrel. I will use a pickle barrel.
It's what Arthur would have wanted.
It is. The mice of house will appreciate this gesture, I think.
There's more of them.
Oh yes, there is an entire small township. It might actually be nicer than the town you
Excuse me.
operate.
They have a fountain.
Look,
It's incredible.
there's a fountain. It
Oh.
is, they have they're tailors. Let me tell you, the things that they can do with a seam. It's impressive.
I'd call it moving art. Like if you would have seen some of the fashion sense on some of these mouse people, like you'd be floored, absolutely floored.
It
He
was.
kind of looks at his own robe.
Yeah, you think you're regal. You should have seen the king.
I see.
But
That is. I guess you never. I'm very glad that I hired the Darning Watch. I don't think that this could have been handled better if I had, called a town guard. I mean, maybe the Girin wizard could have solved it with a little bit more finesse, but
I won't get into that whole thing again. You know my thoughts on wizards.
well, you know who was responsible for this? A wizard.
A wizard.
And he points.
That's weird. Weird. It's always a
Points at-
fucking wizard. They're either saving the world or dooming it. Who knows these days?
well,
Mhm.
again, you have my eternal gratitude. Thank
Can
you.
I have the key to these manacles now? And he points at the chains
Oh,
attaching
yeah.
to the
The teapot. He unlocks them for you.
Yeah, he sort of just like attached those to me with no regard. For
No,
whether or
I
not-
saw him do that.
Yes.
Yes, I was there.
And we did not secure a key from you. At the time, I was not concerned about
Was
Didn't
it
even have a
useful?
safe word.
Did it come in handy? Were you glad you had a teapot?
Yeah,
manacle
I-
key on?
Actually,
I sure was.
it was sort of like a readily available prison for.
It's
our
poetic,
small
I think,
friend.
too. Yes.
There you go. See, and
I think I'm. Yes. Do you mind if I crush the teapot too?
that is yours to do with what
But my
you
teapot.
please. Look, that is not your teapot. You and I both know that. Okay.
Well, the
He
last
just looks
owner
at you.
didn't use it, and he didn't see me take it.
I'm not sure which of those two is supposed to like justify, unlawful taking. But
He's going to quickly, while you're talking, take out his thieves' tools, take out a pair of pliers, and rip out the gems from the bottom. All right, now you can crush it. It's all right.
Very good. Thank you.
Oh,
Hand it over.
here's your grandma. I'm sorry. She's mostly undisturbed.
Thank you. Did
There
anything
was
happen
you-
to her?
well,
No,
there was a mouse.
No,
sorta,
there was
like,
nothing.
nestled in-
Drake, there was nothing.
No,
happening.
that's right. Absolutely
He kind of
undisturbed.
glares at the teapot, looks at you guys, nods slowly, and then puts the teapot up on a high shelf.
Mm-hmm. And if you sift through that and find anything that looks like, like mouse droppings, assume that that's not actually what that is, but instead some
Right.
sort of like, unburnt pot of
Piece of
your grandmother.
Betsy.
Grandma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
old,
Right.
good old pile of Betsy,
He just nods.
Again,
as
thanks.
the gods intended.
I will let the Darning Watch know that you've solved this above and beyond what I expected.
Oh, that's great. Proby here may find himself, a full-fledged agent then.
Yeah,
He
can I
chucks
have-
you on the shoulder?
Do you think they'll finally give me one of the badges without misspellings on it?
I'm pretty sure that you just bought that outside of the shop and somebody got you quick on a fast one. There aren't any.
Well, they
like-
said they were part of the Darning Watch, and they said that for a small payment monthly, I'd be able to get like a little badge.
Mhm.
they gave me this pocket watch, and he holds up basically just like a circle of glass with like crayon drawings of like time on it.
So that's nope, that's seems legit.
I thought so. And he happily puts it in his coat pocket.
All right,
Yeah.
and with that, we will finish off the one shot. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a blast putting it on for you. They sure did solve this one. We are Irrational Radio. We do this every Monday at 9:30. Join us this next Friday for our brand new stream called The Misadventures of the Accidental Travelers, happening also at 9:30 on Friday. It is a continuation, sort of our podcast with different characters, but in the same setting. Other than that, we also have a new stream coming up on Tuesdays called The Disaster Knots, where all three of us are players, led by our magnificent Kyle West, who is dragging us through some space hijinks. We all play deadpan robots. It's wonderful. It's
And
wonderful.
a goblin.
And a goblin. I'm so very excited for that one as well. Otherwise,
test tube elf.
yes, a test tube elf, a goblin, and a deadpan robot.
Quotes Marcus Aurelius.
Of course, Marcus Aurelius. Yes, you can't miss it. Tune in for
Clutch.
that. We have a Discord. Join us if you want to talk to us in a more personal sense, as well as take part in our great community. There's a lot of people that are there that really want to help with role playing and DMing and creating of all sorts of stuff. We also
And
have
show you their cat.
and to show you their cat. We've got a lot of cats. Just come see all the cats of Irrational Radio. They're adorable.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. We also have a website where you can buy some merch, some dice, and if you really like us, we got a Patreon. Throw us a couple bucks in there and you can get some really cool rewards. Thank you guys again for tuning in. We appreciate the support, and we will see you on Friday for the misadventures. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Good in sync wave, boys.